Well, good afternoon. It is Thursday, the 25th of July. That makes it T119 and, no, excuse me, T114 and journal number 119. So it's 114 days after my transplant, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But first, I've got to apologize. You have to excuse me as I adjust the screen. But first, I have to apologize. And I got a long email from a dear friend who, in all of his Midwest honesty, really shook me and straightened me out on something that I did the other day. That I probably would have still done, but I would have tempered it differently, and that was talking about the experience that I had where somebody couldn't wait to share the gruesome details of another person with a similar kind of cancer and their experience with GVH, graft versus host disease. And I still think it's a teachable moment. I still think that people need to be sensitive and aware of the feelings of others. But what Greg did that was much more sensitive than he would love anyone to believe he's capable of was remind me that just as I'm doing the blog in many ways as a catharsis to help me get through my own, diagnosis, illness, treatment, and recovery, that there are plenty of people out there that have had, experiences with a loved one who has had been touched by cancer and where outcomes have not been desired. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, Greg. Because a lot of people would have just let it go, and a lot of people wouldn't have said anything. But we've known each other a very long time, he and I. And a friend is somebody who's there when you really need them to be there. A good friend's probably there when you really need them to be there, and they don't want to be there, but they're there anyway. Great friends are friends that are there when they need to be there, and it doesn't matter who wants them to be there. They're going to be there regardless, even if it's just to sit and wait and watch and listen. And Greg really helped me understand that there's a plausible explanation for why somebody would act like that and why they would say something when in my heart of hearts before that, I really couldn't understand how you could be so insensitive as to take someone who has the potential to suffer from a disease like that and then tell them all about all these possible really bad endings. So, Joe, I apologize. I could have been more sensitive. And I certainly I should have told you directly rather than talking about it in a blog post, but realistically talking about it in a blog post was something that I felt compelled to do, that I had to do because it was bothering me so much. And I really needed to purge myself of it, much the same way as you had to purge yourself of the stories that you were sharing with me. And Greg, I love you. I really appreciate the fact that you feel secure enough in our friendship that you would tell me something that you knew I would not want to listen to, but would listen to anyway because you were the one who was telling me. So now that I've left all of you out of this, with the exception of two people, today was clinic day. Today was a good day. As expected, my hemoglobin went up dramatically. this time from 7.3 to 8.7, which is a pretty big jump. My white and red blood cells were still a little bit low. My platelet count had gone down slightly. All of those things are to be expected at this point in treatment and recovery. They're disconcerting nevertheless because you don't know if they're indicative of something else. But as long as my doctor's smiling when he leaves the examining room, I'm pretty happy because that means that things are okay. You have to excuse me. I love my new Nespresso machine. And but we're moving in the right, we're moving in the right direction in a lot of different ways. First way, see that? What you don't see is there is no lump there. There is no plumbing. I have had my plumbing removed. I no longer have a peripherally installed central catheter device from which to take blood and through which large doses of medicine and or blood and or platelets can be infused, which is a big deal, which is a very big deal. So the PICC line is out, and that's to be expected. They told me right around this area. We were talking about GVH yesterday, and we were talking about the dangers involved in it, and we were talking about GVH just a couple of minutes ago. It is the terror of anybody who's going through a transplant. T cells are really good at killing, and you don't want them battling it out between graft and host. The encouraging part of it is that if you can get through the first 2 years without serious episodes of GVHD, graft versus host disease, it means that your T cells have educated themselves to where they are. They're in somebody else's environment, they belong there, and the environment is true, it belongs there. And it usually means that you can be pretty certain that you're not going to have any serious problems with GVHD. Although my guess is it could still flare up, but I haven't done enough research on it yet to know that for a fact. What else? I'm off anti-rejection drugs, and this is a fun thing. This is actually a fun part. Though you're gonna look at me and you're gonna say, "What are you talking about? What's fun about this?" And it's not fun, haha. It's fun, funny, peculiar. I'm at a point now in my treatment where a lot of what we do is going to be trial and error. I don't even like to say that because I'm the subject, and I don't have a problem necessarily with the trial part, but the error part really is something that's not a tremendous confidence builder. So I will stop, as of tonight, I will stop taking stop taking any magnesium pills, and I'll stop taking sirolimus, which is the last anti-rejection drug that I'm on. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that because sirolimus tends to inhibit hemoglobin, artificially reduce it, keep it lowered, and white and red blood cells as well. And it also has a lot to do with retention of fluids. So, the problem I've been having with edema in my legs may start to go away, which would be nice. Not that I'm going to win stocking model award, but although that would be good too. In any case, so we start a whole new part of the treatment now without rejection drugs, and we're going to see what happens. Oh, I feel so much better knowing that this was not me it was happening to. Um, and hope that the experiment goes well. Uh, in any case, you'll be getting the updates as we move along. So until tomorrow, stay well, take care. Thank you, Greg. Sorry, Joe. Um, life is good. Life is really, really good. Remember that. It's important. Wake up in the morning, say today's going to be a good day. I bet you're going to be right. Certainly more right than you would have been if you didn't say it. Love you all. Bye.